Yes, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Okay. Good afternoon, people. The music's too loud. I already know. I barely even had it up. Holy shit. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in the state of human affairs where certain things happen in human history that just shouldn't happen, period. And this is one of them. This is one of those times where the correct answer was literally to do nothing. To do literally anything but what they did. And they chose to do it anyway. There's a chance that I'll move this stream. Hold on. There you go. Okay. So, most of us here, by the way, good morning, or good afternoon, rather. Well, hello, Ash. Hello, Snowman. Kind of a rare thing for this channel. We are 100% not going to do any gameplay at all. Instead, we're going to read. We're going to read something. It came out about, what, just under a week ago at this point. It was like a day or two before my birthday. It might have literally been my birthday. I was staying up till like, I stayed up all night trying to find this. And I was able to find it. I was able to claw it from the cold reaches of the internet. Because that's how things go. Now, let me really quickly see if I could move my mic out without knocking over everything. I still need to figure out what I'm going to do about my situation. It's rather unique. Let's we could keep the music on if I could turn it even lower. Maybe. There's like one small music setting that's like really good. There you go. Okay. I don't even have a scene set up for this. So we're gonna need to set the mood. I got just the thing for that. There you go. We're gonna chill out here in Amara. I think the chat appears on the screen, if I'm not mistaken. Apparently the 14 gameplay also appears on the screen. Let's see. What the fuck? Okay, hold on. Before I start putting up random windows. Oh! I don't know why it's called that in OBS. There you go. I was able to secure myself a copy of what many people consider to be the greatest work Hollywood has ever produced. I, as a young boy, of course, remember the good old days of Cartoon Network and how fantastic it was as a child to wake up and watch such great cartoons. So, this is about, how many pages is this? It's a lot of pages. It's like 61 pages. I have until about 7 p.m. To bulldoze through this, to brute force it. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm exactly going to do that. Now, you might think, well, they never confirmed that this was the real pilot. They never confirmed, this could be a fanfic done in the design of the script. Well, one, they copyright struck it. You usually don't copyright fan fiction, or like that just doesn't happen. Usually they don't strike people who create fan fiction of it. So needless to say, I think that that's very, very suspicious. And two, after how many leaks have come out that people have said that, right? People said that for Star Wars Revenge of the, or Return of the, what's the 9th movie called? The fucking Star Wars movie? Rise of Skywalker, that's the one. They said that about Rise of Skywalker, that no, the leaks are fake, the movie can't be this bad, everything that you're reading is probably wrong. And it turns out like 99% of it was right on the money, and whatever wasn't probably was due to reshoots. They did it for Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones came out, and Game of Thrones was a hot fucking mess. And, everyone's like, no, there's no way this is correct. There's no way this is true. No, this can't be it. Turns out they were, again, pretty much 99% right on the money. Game of Thrones Season 8 was just as much of a fucking flaming dog pile as you can imagine. They said it for Last of Us 2. No, there's no way this could be the right thing. Blah, 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 blah. And it turns out that was 100% true. But there wasn't really anything for me to do for those back then. Like, I knew Star Wars was going to be bad. I knew Game of Thrones was probably not going to be the best. That might be the one that I thought would at least turn out somewhat okay. And Last of Us, they were willing to like strike anything related to that game up to its release. It was a very, very highly interesting couple of days, couple of months actually, where leading up to the release of that game, where they just struck anything related to Last of Us. People just talking about shit getting struck because, you know, they're assholes. There's just not really any other way to put it. So without further ado, I'm willing to put a horse in this race, that this is the real script, just purely based off the fact that I believe it, and that's all I need. That's all you really need is some fucking prayer. So without further ado, let's actually just fucking begin, because honestly, I'm ready to fucking start this shit, because I need to end by a certain time period. So this will be very exciting. Oh god, this is gonna be a reading stream too, which is, now that I actually think about it, is gonna be kind of terrible. So this is your last chance. If you actually like the Powerpuff Girls and you want your memory of it intact, I would recommend closing this video and I don't know, doing something that'll make you actually happy. And I almost don't even want to read this. You know, I don't want to spoil my perfect memory of the Powerpuff Girls, because even as a kid, I liked the show. I almost don't want to do this. But almost isn't good enough. Let's go. Okay. Super. 2003. Over... Oh, I thought the music cut out. Over a blue sky filled with cotton candy clouds. Narrator voice. I'm not going to read this shit every time. Once upon a time, in the early 2000s, there were 3 extraordinary sisters who were destined to save the world. Blossom Utonium, 7, Swords... I want to remind you that they're kids, because in the 2016 one, they had that one dude put himself into Waifu Blossom. That was basically the most that I knew about the 2016, like, reboot of this shit, is that some dude wrote himself into the fucking plot, which makes no sense and probably should never have happened at all. But someone approved that, and then no one caught it. And then it just went to air. And that's how we get weird shit like that. But we're gonna probably ignore that. That was like the one thing I was hoping this show tackled. But anyway, Blossom can fly, and effortlessly, even in the impractical pink dress she wears. Come on, guys, he's getting away. Blossom was the leader, the go-getter, the goody-goody. Buttercup Utonium flies up next to her sister. She's a scrappy, scowling tomboy wearing a green dress. Come on, guys, he's getting away. Please, we always catch them. Buttercup was the tough one, the hard ass, if you'll pardon the idiom. Buttercup zooms off, a green blur. Bubbles Utonium in a blue dress, pigtails, and an adorable smile rises up beside Blossom. I spy a camera crew. We're going to be on TV tonight. Woot. Okay, very nice. Maybe she'll floss by the end of this, just to add on to the extra fact. Let's focus on finishing the job and protecting our city. Well, don't forget to smile. Daddy says our image is as important as our efficacy. She grins, touching her dimples with her index fingers. And Bubbles was the sweet, upbeat, and cheerful one. Most of the time. Alright, not bad. The 3 girls dip down together, diving towards a marauding, 3-headed Pegasus monster, big as a building, wreaking havoc on the city. We only see it briefly. Don't worry. Like, okay, don't worry. It's fine. Time to kick some beast. She bursts ahead of them, hooking swiftly around a welcome billboard that reads, "The City of Townsville, home of the Powerpuff Girls." Yeah, I actually forgot what the city was called. That's the fucking crazy part, man. Here we go. We get some action shots. They tie it up. They beat it up. You know, blah, blah, blah. These exceptional girls were not born, but created by the brilliant Professor Drake Utonium. Also, they made the guy from Scrubs Professor Utonium. They completely race changed this man. And normally I would say, like, that's not a ridiculous deal. That's fine. That's whatever. But based on what I know, it's kind of great. Super 1996, 7 years earlier. Drake Utonium, a debonair scientist in his 30s, toils in a lab surrounded by a mysterious equipment and colorful compounds. There's an explosion of light, red, blue, and green, as new life blooms from a pipette. He'd long dreamed of being a father, but his Oh god, I have to blink, Jesus. His grandiosity prevented him from pursuing this goal in a usual manner. Drake didn't just want children, he wanted phenomena. Above him in the magic-fogged air, we see the silhouettes of the hovering, newly made 7-year-old Powerpuff Girls. Drake turns to his gawky, cowering lab partner, Dr. Joseph Mojo Mondell. Mojo claps, though he looks a bit uncertain. Congrats, you did it. I couldn't have done it without you, Mojo. The girls, the professor and the professor's girlfriend, Sarah Bellum, yeah, he's dating Sarah Bellum, enjoy a cozy, laughter-filled dinner. For years, all was well in the Utonium household. The sisters were the best of friends. Drake was a proud papa. His girlfriend, Sarah, had become a part of the family. Off to this warm scene, we cut to the crowd cheering as the girls send upon villain Fuzzy Lumpkin. Oh, God. I can only imagine how Fuzzy Lumpkins would have looked in this. That must be amazing. The girls were beloved heroes in Townsville, a city mysteriously besieged by villainous creatures and crooks. Scientists and religious gurus and conspiracy theorists all had their own explanations for why Townsville was the center of these strange attacks, but no one knew for sure. All they knew was that the Powerpuff Girls kept them safe. Yeah. By the way, I don't think Mojo Jojo's a monkey in this one. I think they changed that as well. Reveal Mojo watching the spectacle on television with his mountaintop observatory. He glares, sick with envy. Dr. Joseph Mojo Mondell was not so delighted with the Powerpuff Girls. He resented their celebrity, especially since he helped Drake discover Chemical X, the mutagenic substance that gave the girls their powers. But Drake, wrapped up in the limelight, seemed to have forgotten about their decade-long partnership. Mojo turned off the TV. He walks to the window. He'd hoped to use the chemical to gain powers for himself, powers he'd use for good, like Elon Musk, but also for his own gain, or own personal gain, like Elon Musk. But what use would it be now? Mojo wasn't sure. He didn't have sugar or spice or anything nice. He was just a plain, old, boring man. Like Elon Musk, dude. Alright. Mojo gazes out the window. We see 3 glittery streaks of color appear in the sky. It's the girls. A boy runs up from behind, nose pressed against the glass. It's Mojo's son, 8. There's the Powerpuff Girls. I wish I could fly. They're all so cool, especially Blossom. Okay. The girls and Drake watch a live news broadcast. Mojo stands at a podium at a televised rally. The chyron underneath reads, "Concerned scientist holds anti-Powerpuff rally." Oh, what? Oh, no. Here we go. I worked with the professor for years. He's power-hungry and duplicitous. He stole Chemical X from me, and I believe he may even be the mastermind behind Townsville's most heinous monsters. How else would the girls stay famous if not protecting us? Maybe we need to be protected from them. But we never. He's a sad, bitter man. Don't worry, you're more popular than ever. Drake was right. The girls had a national fan club license mark and even their own cartoon. So yes, the cartoon is canon. I'm assuming they're skipping the 2016 cartoon, as a lot of these things are kind of generally want to do. They usually include the original source material and try to pretend that anything that came after it just didn't happen and didn't exist. But Mojo wasn't their own enemy. They were about to face an evil far more formidable, a force that's defeated innumerable gifted children. The CW. Alright, we fast forward to 2013. Blossom, now a teenager, is lying in bed. She opens one eye, elbows teenage Buttercup, who's lying next to her. We see SAT prep books scattered next to Blossom. Wake up, red phone. Buttercup takes out her mouthguard and groans. I was up till 3 a.m. texting Rachel. She thinks I'm seeing other girls. Because you are. Yeah, but I had to put in a lot of work to convince her I wasn't. Fantastic. Reveal Bubbles passed out on the floor, hungover. Can someone please answer that thing? Buttercup flippantly picks it up and slams it back down. Where were you last night? We broke into the zoo again. We made the flamingos drink hypnotic. Blossom has climbed out of bed and is beginning to put her costume on. It's the same dress they wore as little girls. Come on, guys, let's just suit up and get this done. I'm not wearing that dress anymore. Dude, this is like every meme back to fucking back. It's compulsory heterosexuality. Take it up with Dad. Dad freaks out if we do anything off model. He treats us like a product he developed. Why are you so angry at Daddy? It wasn't our idea to be ordained saviors of Townsville. No, but it's our responsibility. Even if we're tired from test prep or girl drum or blue fruit flavored cognac. Bubbles dry heaves. Blossom pulls Buttercup's costume out of the hamper. She sniffs and grimaces. That crystal deodorant does not work. So this is not necessarily bad yet. I just kind of know what happens later. There's a lot of shows where they take characters and they age them up, and then they have to deal with other shit. That in and of itself is not like actually bad per se. And honestly, I really wish this had gotten made. Only the CW could make something like this. Only they could. Why do you think Batwoman is so good? It's so good because they just obviously didn't give a fuck about anything else, and that's the best part about it. They shuffle out the front door. Who are we fighting? Are we fighting Swampy again? Who is the brief? Drake pops out of the house, followed by Sarah. I guess we would have to see Sarah Bellum's face in this. That's kind of like the one thing that they never did, except for that one time when she got turned into a dog. When wear your pigtails, you have to stick to the character Bible. She's not a character, Drake. I know, that's why I've allowed her to select 2 outside friends and unlimited after-school activities. Buttercup, I don't appreciate the look on your face right now. Can you blame her? She's 17, and she's up at the butt crack of dawn to fight a talking swamp. Sarah, as always, I appreciate your concern for my family, but you're not part of it. Oh my god. Wow. Guys, we need to go. Townsville needs us. Blossom takes off. The other girls follow suit reluctantly. Sarah stares at Drake hurt. Come on, I'll make you an omelet while we watch the live feed. Drake heads inside. Sarah doesn't move. We've been together for 9 years. Exclusive for 7. When are you gonna let me in here? Another 9 years? Never? I can't do this anymore, Drake. Yeah, Professor Utonium's an asshole in this. It's absolutely fantastic. It's the best thing they could have done, obviously. Bubbles, Blossom, and Buttercup battle Swampy. It's way more effort. Hold on a second. Okay, cool. It's way more effortful than it should be. Suddenly, a laser beam grazes Swampy and almost hits Blossom. Reveals a giant squid robot being operated by Mojo, a lab monkey by his side. Mojo's voice bellows from a megaphone. Stop this, Powerpuff Girls. Don't you see they're behind this? They're putting you all in danger. Teenage Jojo co-pilots his father via control monitor in the observatory, holding a Blossom action figure. Dad, go easy on Blossom, remember? I got this, Jojo. The girls try to subdue Swampy as a few anti-Powerpuff protesters gather below. One throws a Slurpee. Buttercup goes red hot and flies up to the jackass. I will honestly end you. God. This is Mass Effect. Guys, a little help? We're working on it. Mojo blasts another laser at Swampy, hitting him in the arm and the building behind him. Concrete debris rains down. Blossom catches the flying pieces in both arms, looking to her sisters for help, but hungover Bubbles can barely handle Swampy, and Buttercup's fighting with protesters. Desperate, Blossom kicks a third piece of debris out of the air, but it ricochets a lamppost, exploding into fragments. Mojo's robot is riddled with shrapnel as it falls to the ground. In Mojo's lab, Jojo's speechless, his eyes water. Dad? Blossom sees blood on the inside panel. Blossom and Buttercup join her. Blossom begins to hyperventilate, having a full-blown panic attack. Yeah, so Blossom kills Mojo Jojo, just in case you were wondering. Townsville divided. In the wake of Mojo's death, a once fringe group of anti-Powerpuff Girls activists have gained massive popularity. Their goal to banish the Powerpuff Girls. The news cuts to footage of the mayor holding a press conference. I guess we would have had a really short fucking mayor too, wouldn't we? Started by angry anti-Powerpuff protesters. Due to the public safety concerns, the Powerpuff Girls have been outlawed from fighting in Townsville. The protesters cheer wildly as Bubbles and Buttercup watch on TV under a blanket together. I better check on Blossom. Buttercup enters Blossom's room. The bed is empty and made. Empty drawers are open. See a tear-stained Blossom flying as fast as she can over an overcast sky, a suit strapped to her back. Now furious, Buttercup bursts angrily out the front door and is immediately swarmed by news cameras. Sleep you all in Sleep Townsville, or I'm sorry, bleep you all in Bleep Townsville. The Powerpuff Girls are done. Wow. There's your prologue. Already it's fantastic. So the entirety of the backdrop of the original show, the original 90s cartoon, because again, I don't think anyone really cares about the 2016 reboot. I forgot that it even existed other than that one dude self-inserting him into it. It was a reality show. That's it. The Professor Utonium was an asshole. He just slave drove his fucking created daughters to fight crime so he could just be popular and he could watch them on TV and get money from it. And I don't know, I guess in their grand crime fighting scheme, nothing ever went wrong until the literal day where they fought these villains again for the 5,000th time. Nothing ever went wrong. And then the one day something went wrong, everyone was like, you know what, fuck that. They're out of control. And I don't know what they plan to do if you know, someone else decides to come along, like him or who's the fucking bitch with the tentacle hair or whatever. You know, all the rogues gallery that they have, right? The rowdy rough boys and stuff. What happens if they show up like a week after they ban these people? You know, they banned them from fighting. What are they gonna do? I don't know. You might hate them, but they're your best chance at defending yourselves. No, I guess the government just doesn't give a shit. You know, whatever. Okay. Smoke billows from the first floor of a house. After Blossom ran away to build a new life for herself, Buttercup and Bubbles followed suit. On the second floor, a window opens. Adult Buttercup, wearing firefighter gear, leaps out of the window with a little boy in her arms. They fly down 20 feet and land gently. Enraged by the ignoble end of the Powerpuff Girls, Buttercup sought anonymity. She moved to a small town in Oregon, shortened her name to B, and joined the fire department, convincing herself she could be happy as a normal human hero. I thought you guys use ladders. Yeah, so this isn't America then. I was just about to say, maybe it's not in America, but no, it is. If anyone asked, I did it. I can't help myself. Want to see me put out the fire with magic ice breath? The little boy. Now this is, we're getting into full CW here. They can just abandon everything before that. Let's see. As Buttercup inhales, another firefighter comes around outside a house with a hose. Maybe next time. Close up on a license plate, Bubbles 1, affixed to a baby blue Corvette. Adult Bubbles, still wearing her signature pigtails, pops the trunk. It's full of Powerpuff Girls merch and a price list. Selfies, $20. T-shirts, $30. Selfies plus t-shirt, $45. Okay. Bubbles went to Hollywood, hoping to capitalize on her childhood fame. After 2 stints in rehab and 3 failed reality show pilots, she had pivoted. How fucking ironic. How actually fucking ironic. Jesus, man. She had pivoted to direct sales. Bubble announces herself to a pack of passing tourists. I'm Bubbles from the Powerpuff Girls. The real Bubbles, unlike that Bobo knockoff Wonder Woman. And then they get a fake Wonder Woman who, in the script, they have to highlight how fucking fake she looks. Turns and sticks her tongue out of Bubbles as the tourists flock to her. Good God. Blossom sits in a lecture hall taking notes. As for Blossom, she attended an elite women's college in the Northeast, collecting degrees to cocoon herself from the harsh sting of the real world. It was effective. She spots a Powerpuff tattoo on the bicep of a classmate. Most of the time. 2021. Blossom joins her adorable boyfriend, Clive, for breakfast. As Blossom enters, he puts a birthday hat on her head, smiling. After a long decade of school, Blossom got a job at a Boston area biotech firm where she met her boyfriend Clive. This morning, they're celebrating her 25th birthday, which is technically tomorrow. But tomorrow, Blossom has some out-of-state business to attend to. A reminder text from Spirit Airlines pops up on her phone. Time to check in for your flight to Townsville, departing tomorrow at 8 a.m. She shudders. I don't want to go to Townsville. Clive rubs her shoulders warmly as he pours her coffee. After this weekend, you never have to again. Once you sign that document and collect your trust fund, you're free to go. Besides, you've been so excited to see your sisters after all this time. Maybe I waited too long. I've been so MIA. Buttercup and Bubbles talk all the time. Buttercup even went out to see Bubbles' one-woman show, Bubbles with a Chance of Bubbles. Oh my God, this is some action. I'm not on Twitch, by the way, so don't worry about that. This is some real simp shit. I love this, absolutely. I gotta put on my biggest simp voice. Jeez. throat's kind of dry already from reading this. It's a bad day to read shit. Babe, you had a no, I'm sorry, babe. God, I can't even get deep enough for this to do the simp voice. Babe, you had a messed up childhood that culminated in a traumatic event. It's like your therapist says, you need to go out and make your own way in the world for the sake of your mental health. I just hope I don't have a panic attack while I'm there. If you do freak out, just do that exercise Dr. Pat taught you. Right, visualize my inner child. She gazes into the middle distance where her childhood self magically appears, waving to her reassuringly. Thanks for being amazing, Clive. I love you. I love you. It's time for Bubbles to vote Buttercup and Blossoms. Happy birthday, Eve, my BBs. See you tomorrow. Blossom super conversation with Clive, grins and texts back. Can't wait to see you guys. Seriously, after a beat, Buttercup texts me 3. I just as a personal aside, I hate texts like this. I hate them. I'm not a very big hangout person. My friends would attest to that. So I get people texting me in like a group chat, a couple group chats that I'm in from like schools and other things that I've been to. And everyone is always like, oh, I can't wait to see you guys. You know, I miss you guys. And I'm like, well, I mean, do you really miss us? You know, especially when people are like, oh, I miss you. My first thought is like, well, do you really miss me? Because if you really missed me, you could have messaged me anytime in the last decade. I haven't really gone anywhere. It's not like I changed any of my, well, I don't know if they have my cell phone number, which is actually good because I don't want them calling me. Even if they did, I wouldn't pick up because I don't answer calls that I don't get the caller ID from, unless I'm expecting a call, possibly. All right. Damn it, straight to hell, Gina. Jojo, now in his 20s, sits in a well-appointed office. His plaque on his desk reads, Jojo Model, Mayor of Townsville. He reads through a report in front of his secretary, Gina, 50. She has a pet monkey sitting on his desk. This is just initial polling a day. You've got time to pull ahead. Only got prodigal Powerpuff Girls, Prodigal, sorry. Mojo's son Jojo stayed in Townsville. Indeed, his dedication to the city carried him all the way to public office, and he was the youngest person ever elected mayor of Townsville. Unfortunately for him, a second term looks unlikely. I've delivered on everything I promised except free gelato Fridays, and that's only because the perfect scoop turned out to be a front for meth trafficking. Alessia Lawrence has no experience. She's impulsive and reactionary. She's exciting. I mean, she's not a white man. Oh, you know someone in the fucking room popped a massive fucking boner when they thought of this line. They were full fucking mast, fully erect thinking about this. You know, you hear about reverse discrimination, but until it happens to you, no offense, you totally earned your position. Optics don't hurt though. Okay. This is me reading this. Okay. There's one thing people love more than virtue signaling, Gina. Frozen desserts of Italian origin? No, security, safety, and I can provide that. Jojo feeds his monkey a treat. With all due respect, Mr. Mayor, Townsville is a candy-colored bubble of privilege and comfort. You know that they were full fucking going crazy with this. Ever since the creature attacks stopped one of America's safest cities, I don't think people are voting from a place of fear. Well, let me tell you, even when you're not, people still don't. What about my pet monkey? That was meaningful in the last election. Post Harambe. No one cares anymore.
Help me! Help me!
Unbelievable. I need time to read through all this, so go ahead and knock off for lunch. One more thing, the Powerpuff Girls are coming to town tomorrow. The color drains from Jojo's face. He's shaken. Tomorrow, all 3? Just for the weekend. The Gazette called asking for comment. Tell Frank I said no comment. That'll be all. Gina nods and exits. As Jojo mulls all of this over, his monkey screeches. It gives Jojo an idea. He picks up his cell, pulls out a contact, short stack, hesitates for a moment, then dials, I need you. I have no clue who short stack is if they ever appeared before. Buttercup exits with her duffel. We see Bubbles with her suits of luggage in a line for an Uber. She's accompanied by a middle-aged guy with a camera. She spots Buttercup heading over. Here she comes. Start filming then. Happy birthday, bitch! They hug happily until Buttercup notices the cameraman. What's with Al Malses over here? Does he work for Bravo? No, I'm making a tasteful doc about my comeback / solo career, which starts with capturing our reunion, which is kind of a big D. Yeah, so all the time that Bubbles was like the cute one, now she's just fucking fucked up. It's ridiculous. And this is my manager, Ace. Hey. I love the one-word responses. They're great. When you say reunion, to be clear, you mean like our personal reunion, because you're not interested in a reteam or reboot of the Powerpuff Girls, I know, even though America would go rip shit bonkers for it. They would. Buttercup affectionately strokes one of Bubbles' pigtails. You haven't changed at all. Gotta stick to the character Bible. They smirk, but the looks they exchange are poignant. Bubbles, Buttercup, and Ace ride in the back of an Uber. They pass the old Welcome to Townsville billboard, which now says Jojo Mondale, mayor, with a smiling picture of Jojo. So Mojo's son is the mayor now. Remember what a huge crush he had on Blossom? Weird kid. Hey, you know who we should go see while we're here? Sarah. She was always so great to us. Dad blew that one. Yeah, now he dates rando beaker buddies and science hoes. See, like, someone wrote this, and then a bunch of people online read this, and they said to themselves, this is awful, we don't want to see it get made. I said to myself, this is fucking terrible. I wish they would make it. I actually like it when the CW produces garbage, because one, the ratings don't lie, and two, it's fucking hilarious. You get all these people, you know, just actors happy to work on a show with a big name attached to it, and then they have to come on stage and say this. Like, how could you not want to see this? That is the most purely entertaining thing imaginable. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you actually fucking kidding me? Holy shit. It's incredible to think that we were this close to, like, Star Wars level ridiculousness. We're actually kind of bulldozing through this, which is pretty good. Buttercup looks out the window and sees Townsville Gifts, a shop still selling Powerpuff Girls souvenirs. Look, they rejected us, but they're still hawking our merch. Pathetic. We put this town on the map, like the aliens in Roswell or the witches in Salem. The car turns to their childhood street. I can't believe Blossom is coming. She's been a total ghost aside from the obligatory holiday texts. Yeah, it's probably only because Dad made it mandatory for us to be here IRL to access the trust. So what are you going to do with the money? Buy a little cabin, rescue a few schnoodles or doodles. I'm not total cliche. I'm going to have chickens too. Suddenly I look out the window, alarm. What the fuzzy lumpkins? We see a mob of people gathered near the Powerpuff Girls' childhood house. Some are pressed, some carrying signs that say things like "No violence in Townsville." The scant few are fans. Dad alerted the press. Sisters get out of the Uber. The small crowd surrounds them, yelling questions. Are you here to start trouble? Are the Powerpuff Girls reteaming? Hell no, I'm not caping for Townsville over again. I'm here to collect a debt, and then I'm out. Throttle down, boo. Your Chem X is showing. And who's this? That's actually a good one. Real little girl. I'm Henrietta. I'm a huge fan. Blossom is my favorite. But all of you are feminist icons. Oh, thank you, cutie. Can I have a hug? Buttercup notices a large furry caterpillar on Henrietta's shoulder, arcing up towards Bubbles' ear. She instinctively swats the caterpillar into the bushes. Henrietta bursts into tears in full panic. That was my pet Gloria. Okay, we're just gonna completely step by that. I don't know, that's weird. Daddy, I hate saying that word, please. That is the worst thing they could ever have me say. Camera shudders as shutters click as Drake opens the door to greet his daughters. Bubbles hugs him. Ace films. Girls! Buttercup strides past Drake inside the house. Drake shuts the door behind Buttercup and Bubbles. Dad, why'd you call the press? Blossom's gonna freak out, and the last thing we need is another crack in the bell jar. Blossom's fine. I saw her on... Here we go. Blossom's fine. I saw her on Insta that she has a boyfriend. I saw her on LinkedIn that she got promoted. And I saw on Facebook that she still talks to Grandpa, despite her political beliefs. Oh my god, what a soldier she is. Holy shit. Unimaginable. Talking to someone despite political differences? Oh, fuck. I know at the CW they couldn't imagine something like that. That would be impossible. It might actually be human to do something like that. Coming back here is probably triggering for her. Why? Because she's the one who killed Mojo? I mean, moveon.org. see off camera. I don't know like full on script text, so if I miss any of that, I've never filmed anything, and I've rarely ever read any sort of film scripts. We hear a chair squeak. It's Blossom sitting at the kitchen table. Awkward. Ace turns to Drake and extends his hand. I'm Ace, Virgo Management. Drake shakes his hands. Blossom rises to greet his sisters. Come here. Alright, it's a long, strong group hug. Drake watches them please. He turns to Ace, who temporarily lowered his camera to observe the reunion. You getting it? You getting this? The sisters sit on one side of the dinner table. Drake on the other hand, or on the other. The room is full of birthday balloons. Ace films. I can't believe you girls are 25. Wow, the 3Bs back in Townsville. It'll be nice to catch up, huh? Blossom is looking at the red phone on display in a glass case like a museum piece. She starts downing a glass of wine. Yes, and it'll be nice to collect the money we sold for our childhoods for. Where do we sign? You loved being a Powerpuff Girl. It's not like we had a choice. Bloss, you loved it. You were always the first one out the door when that alarm went off. Yes, the alarm. I'm not sure there's no use for it now. The scariest thing in Townsville is the Hobby Lobby. Actually, I didn't want to bring this up yet, but I have a reason to believe that a darkness is maybe returning. Dad, you don't mean, like, monsters? Blossom begins to hyperventilate. It's a panic attack. I think the city may need the Powerpuff Girls again. Alright, and she faints. Okay. You see Henrietta seated at a child-sized desk. She repairs the woolly bear caterpillar we saw Buttercup swat away earlier. The caterpillar is, oh my god, it's a robot. There are hundreds of robot pillars crawling around the room. Henrietta cranks the volume on her record player. Hey, turn that down! Sorry, Mr. Carruthers. Henrietta pushes one of her woolly bears through a wall vent. Oh, I guess to kill him. I don't know. Okay. Or to stuff it, I guess. I don't know. Mr. Carruthers, Henrietta's neighbor, 50s, watches UFC. The woolly bear. Yeah, see, it's alive. What the fuck? The woolly bear emerges through. Okay, crawls into his ear. Yeah, it's a fully autonomous robot. That's crazy. There's a strange yellow glint in his eyes. Glowworm continues to play faintly as we end of Act 1. Wow. Okay, that's fantastic. Blossom's out cold. Bubbles and Buttercup hover over her. Here we go. This is the one that I think everyone on Twitter saw. Everyone on Twitter actually saw this and was simultaneously all like, what the fuck is wrong with them? Bloss, wake up or we'll leak your nudes everywhere. Off of Bubbles' confusion, she says, oh, that worked on you once. I'd like to remind you this is based off of a property where they were originally 7 years old. Just as reference, in case you may have forgotten. We're talking about, you know, childhood superheroes who were 7 years old. Very nice. Now they're all grown up. It's great. This is like this. You know what? The closest thing that this reminds me of is like when they had a fucking Maisie Williams sex scene in Game of Thrones season 8. It's like, you know, we've been watching this show since she was underage. It's kind of weird. You know, it's not illegal, right? Like she was over 18. She'd long since been over 18. A lot of those characters on Game of Thrones that were kids when they started, they matured basically to age 18 plus long before the show ended. And the same thing with Harry Potter. It's just weird. It's just really, really, really weird when you have characters that start underage and then they grow up and they do weird like shit like that. Like it's generally phrased pretty wrong. But this is a nice thing to do to your sister. I can only imagine who thought that was a good idea. I can only imagine. I fucking hate it, but I love it too. Bubbles nods and thanks, closes her eyes. Grew up in a small town, and when the rain would fall down, I'd just stare out my window. Please, not breakaway. It's working. They sing a little bit. Okay, I'm up. Too late. Okay, they sing. The sisters find Drake dancing in front of a PowerPoint eating a Go-Gurt. He accidentally dripped some on his shirt. Sorry, girls, I have a condition where if I see someone faint, I faint, so I had to grab some sugar. Now, would you look at that? Take a seat, I made coca. Bubbles happily sits. Buttercup and Blossom take a beat. Damn, I do love that coca. And I love family time. Okay. As you girls may or may not know, I've been monitoring supernatural evil activity here in Townsville ever since you left. Mostly it's a lot of dead ends and conspiracies until this morning when I saw this. It's a picture of a missing kitten. Sorry, wrong thread. Okay. Is anyone else's internet fucked? With several complaints below. Yeah, this makes a lot more sense. Your Buttercup, it's not that way, but the why. It's not the what, but the why. Investigating the provider's not to blame. There's no explanation for why this cluster of people in a 2-block radius doesn't have working internet, except for a mysterious, unusual concentration of high-frequency technology suggesting the presence of a secret evil laboratory. Okay, that might be scary if you didn't say it like a cruise ship MC. The reach of the outage suggests that some pretty heavy-duty tech, so I didn't want to get too close. Undermanned, or should I say, yeah, please don't say that. Yeah, you shouldn't. So you want us to see if there's an evil lab based on a thread from Nextdoor about spotty internet. Yes. And you're sure this evidence isn't something you staged in order to drum a comeback for us? Honey, you think I would lie to you? Yes, you lie all the time. Remember when you let that colossal gopher out during sweeps? That was one time, and we were in a ratings hole. And we ended up in a literal hole created by a giant gopher who tried to kill us with a tree trunk. That was good TV. Okay, well, I'm gonna pass. Same. Trade pouts. Bubble stands up, turns to her sisters. Guys, how can you turn down an evil recon mission? Especially when Mish said it would make a perfect storyline for my documentary. Bubbles is back. Not to be confused with your other film, Bubbles on her back. Someone wrote this. Someone wrote this. This is not fan fiction. Dude, someone wrote this and was like, yeah, this is good enough. We're going to film this. And they did. This exists. This is a thing that exists in the fucking world. They showed it to test audiences and then they didn't air it. We were so close. Fuck you, test audiences. Fuck you. We were so close to actual perfection. I hate it. I'm so fucking mad. I'm so goddamn mad. We could have had the best shit posts since that Law & Order episode. And you know what episode I'm talking about. There were 2 Law & Order episodes that were great post-Gamergate. And we got them. And I'm so fucking happy, man. Good lord. I forget what the second one was, but the first one was the one with the go home gamer girl shit. I fucking love that episode. Oh my god, that was fantastic. Come on, it'll be fun, dude. Like, come on, man. I mean, this is a good joke, but why does it have to be Powerpuff Girls? Like why? God. And they wrote this. They wrote this. They wrote this. I'm gonna believe it's real. I'm gonna 99% back that this is real, and firmly believe that this is a thing that happened. Come on, it'll be fun. Plus, we haven't hung out in like a decade. I really miss us. Please. Buttercup's warmed by the sentimental plays. Cool, we do have a day to kill before we get our monies, and maybe there'll be something for me to beat up. Totally Blossom. Evil recon mish. The sisters look to Blossom. She looks away ashamed. I think I'm just gonna take a nap. Buttercup rolls her eyes. Bubbles takes a deep breath. Forget it, Bubs. Let's have her boring phone sex with her pasty night. Blossom drives. Buttercup's in the front. Bubbles in the back with Ace examining Drake's stats on an iPad while Ace films. I can't remember if Utonium's first name was Drake in the cartoon. I'm not gonna look. That's something I just actually don't remember. So this potential evil... I hate people who talk like this unironically. Says potential evil lab Dad found is somewhere between Donut Thing and the volcano. Oh, that's interesting. No, it's not. No one cares. The volcano is owned by the Rowdy Rough Boys, 3 brothers who were a failed spin-off version of us, except they had no superpowers and all got Lou Pearlman. If the Rowdy Rough Boys had turned their evil in hopes of rebooting the franchise and we stopped them, maybe Townsville won us back. Bubba, let me tell you something. When we got outlawed by Townsville for accidentally killing a madman, then unceremoniously ditched by Blossom, I was pissed. Blossom shifts in her seat, guilty and annoyed at the dig, but it forced me to reevaluate my life, and I realized how exhausted I was defending myself against misogynist morons and pretending I was straight for the cameras. It was fun when it was about fighting baddies, but it changed. Yeah, it did. Do you guys think JoJo would do an interview for my doc? Very subtle, by the way. That's the only comment I'll make about that. Yeah, I know. I don't think he would because of the whole "we killed his dad" thing. Blossom, maybe you could ask for me. I bet he's still obsessed with you. He was never obsessed with me. Yeah, he was. And I bet he still is, but in a kinky, angry way. An American dive bar, Buttercup, Blossom, and Bubbles and Ace enter and find the volcano popping. A picture of the Rowdy Rough Boys, Brick, Boomer, and Butch hangs on the wall. Butch now a super hot bartender, gives Buttercup and Blossom big hugs. Did they end that episode as friends? I feel like they didn't. They were kind of a one-off episode. I don't think they had more than 1 or 2 episodes with the Rowdy Rough Boys at all. Where's my hug? Last time I saw you, you broke off our engagement and told me you pawned the ring for drugs. Was that you? This is what Bubbles does. She doesn't even know which dude she's talking about. He doesn't even know who the fuck this dude is. Have a drink with us. We're never here and we never will be again. Okay, 1 shot. Alright, Lisa grabs drinks. Buttercup makes eyes of a hot girl across the bar. Aren't we here to investigate? I'm here to pick up bi-curious townies. You're here to avoid Drake. Bubbles is here to investigate. But she forgot Butch hates her. Luckily, we're dealing with another hate boner, so alcohol helps. Why do you know so much about hate boners? Life is one big hate boner.
Help me! Help me!
I really genuinely hate that this is never going to be on television. I genuinely hate that this line right here is not actually a line. This is something I would fucking clip. I really would watch this episode and just clip everything. And they didn't. This is going to get cut when they redo the episode. They're going to throw this whole script out and refilm from the beginning. I fucking hate it. I really hope this still makes the fucking final cut. You know why? Because that is an amazing fucking line. Blossom, okay, they throw back the shots. Remember her 15th birthday at the weird honky tonk. Bubbles peed herself, you threw a carrot top out of a window, and Sarah picked us up at 3 a.m., never told Dad. Can't believe they used to have sex. Can you imagine Drake? He's so mechanic, dude. I never want to think about my parents having sex. Ever. That's terrible. God damn. I bet he's generous. Okay. No, oh, that's what gets the filth and not okay. Alright, sure. I can't. I couldn't imagine that. Sisters kick back with another round of shots. Bubbles flirts with Butch, who softened considerably. Bubbles nods to a door marked "Do not enter." What's in there? It's top secret. Like an evil laboratory. Butch laughs it off. Bubbles eyes the room, dying to get in. Blossom waits for a drink, watching a Bitmoji from Clive. Okay, he's a massive fucking simp. Blossom smiles, puts her phone away, and then notices young Blossom on a bar stool next to her, sucking down a Go-Gurt. Admit it, you're having fun. You always have fun when you're with them. Blossom takes in her surroundings, her sister. She is having fun. As she savors the moment, can I buy you a drink? Young Blossom disappears. Blossom turns to find Henrietta's neighbor Carruthers. Blossom smiles and tries to leave, but Carruthers pushes a stool in front of her with a loud scrape. This is like some Men in Black shit. What's going on here? Okay, aren't you those Powerpuff Girls? Powerpuff, no D, like you. Carruthers grab Buttercup's arms, also wants to go wine. Oh no. Alright, she's making out with Butch against the wall, trying to inch her way closer to the do not. I hate this. Carruthers sails across the room, bursting through it. It's a supplies closet filled with storage and pesticides. Alright, Butch physically carries out a flailing Bubbles. Stop, I'm an American treasure. Butch leaves, Bubbles hisses at him, turns to Buttercup. Dude, not cool. What, he was a creep, and Blossy was full deer in the headlights. His eyes had a weird glint, I was trying to suss it out. What's there to suss out, his botched cataract surgery? Why do you keep coming at me? I get it, I screwed up. No, Bubbles screwed up, like, constantly. You left. I'm sorry, okay, what more do you want from me? I want the old Blossom. Buttercup becomes emotional. Bubbles nods to Ace to film. Yeah, thanks. You used to boss us around, you used to have perspective and care, and you were a leader, and now you're this weak, closed-off, mopey loser. You know what I think? I think I'm the only one here that actually grew up, and neither of you can handle it, because you're still beating up people in bars like you did when we were 15, and Bubbles is wearing knee socks on Hollywood Boulevard. Bubbles stopped filming. Buttercup charges Bubbles and Ace. Let's see. Stop whoring out our lives. You guys bungled the investigation. Your dysfunction is all I have. No, this is a Razor scooter charging stick. Oh god, they do have these, right? With the electric scooters. If you ride one of those, you're a fucking hipster, and you're also... You're a fucking hipster. That's all I gotta say to you. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Just own what you got, man. Blossom grabs the iPad from the car and checks Drake's numbers. Let's see. Hey, guys. Ice mean you're going in the dumpster. I think this is the unusual concentration of high-frequency technology Drake was talking about. Blossom points to the Razor scooters. Oh my god, see, Bubs? He's a sad, lonely quack. Let's go. Wow, okay. Let's get some B-roll, I guess. Bubbles looks over Ace's shoulder as he films the charging station at the base of an apartment complex. 3 floors up, they see a figure watching Bubbles and Ace from their window. Revealed Henrietta watching them leave. Her evil lair is exactly how I imagine like an Austin Powers film to go. Is directly above the charging station and is the source of the energy that Drake identified. Henrietta turns back inside, surprised to find JoJo sitting in an armchair. Do you break into the homes of all the little girls you hire to do your evil bidding? Just the ones who've murdered their parents. Less red tape. How's progress? You know, ups and downs. JoJo eyes Henrietta, less thrilled with her response. The Powerpuff Girls collect their trust fund in 12 hours. That's how long you've got to put 3 of these little bugs in their brains so I can control their minds, make them throw a school bus of kids into a river, and save the day, cementing your re-election. I know the playbook, JoJo. I love it. Aside of the saving the kids part, I just sent my boy Carruthers on a mission, and it was a no bueno. Alright, he's looking beat up. The mission was to try to get a bug in Blossom's ear, but instead we started a fight with Buttercup. Didn't we? Didn't we? I need to do more testing. You have 12 hours and I make you eat every single one of these bugs, turn you into the FBI, and you become the youngest person to ever be executed in America. Got it? Henrietta is speechless, but clearly gets the message. JoJo heads for a door, tripping on a pair of shoes. He fears he looks stupid. He does. So he calls her angrily. 12 hours. They made him into a fucking... into a literal Austin Powers villain. Bubbles films Drake as they dig deeper into Drake's theory. I don't see how I could be wrong. The evidence doesn't lie. Blossom enters, quietly helping herself to a coffee. If you're wondering, we're just over halfway, by the way. Why would I lie about something like this? Because you want us to reunite, Dad. And you know that appealing to my sense of responsibility with this town in danger thing is the only way to get me on board. Ugh. Speaking of dangerous, this crazy dude came for Blossom Buttercup at the volcano. He had Scorpio energy. Chaotic. We got it on tape. Want to see? Want some jumps? Pop flash to Carruthers scrapping the stool. His menacing yellow eyes. Yeah, what was that? Blossom silently exit. Drake wants her to leave, then turns to Bubbles. What did I do to drive her away? Just now or in a macro sense? Bubbles on a day goes by. I don't regret my greatest failure. Japan is a tough market to crack. I'm not talking about the brand. I mean my mistakes as a father. Look, we love being Powerpuff Girls, but sometimes we want to be other things. Like in Dirty Dancing, Baby wanted to join the Peace Corps, but she also wanted to be a fancy slut. Very nice. And her dad didn't get it. Jerry Oberock was doing his best to understand. Blossom heads upstairs where the bumping sound continues from Buttercup's room, then abruptly stops. Blossom opens the door and finds Buttercup in bed with Macy, the woman she eyed at the bar the night before. They've just... finished. Oh god, I'm sorry. It's fine. We're done, right? I'd say 6 times is enough. Bubbles and Drake enter on Blossom's heels. Guys, no. It's fine. I'm not remotely ashamed. I'm just getting my life, people. And tonight, I finally get access to my trust and never have to come back to Clownsville again. What about me? You should come with me. 3-acre farm and chickens. You all? Why are you acting like this? Like being here is torture. I didn't raise you like this. Exactly. You raised us to be a franchise, not a family. We don't know how to be together without a shot list and suggested dialogue. But remember how much fun we had when the cameras were off? When were they off? See Ace filming from the hallway, yep. When you're a kid, the stakes are supposed to be low. A kid should be worried about losing their lunch money or being picked last at PE. A kid shouldn't be worried about cat burglars or giant lizards or accidentally farting on TRL. Carson handled that well. There was always something scary around the corner. It wasn't normal, and we never had space to process it. You said you created us because you always wanted to be a dad, so why not just make 3 little girls? Well, that would be kind of weird. I'm late to acro yoga. It's kind of like flying. Oh, that's fun. Call me. I'm out of here too. Bubbles, you spent a total of 10 minutes with us, and you're already going ghost. Where are you going? I need to talk to a human being who understands emotions. I'm a known Homo sapien. Wow. Alright, Sarah Bellum's house. Sarah Bellum, now an attractive redhead in her 40s, answers the door. Blossie, I didn't think you would actually come. Hey, Sarah. Blossom meets for a hug. You still wear the same perfume. A Britney Spears circus fantasy. Blossom and Sarah sit in the cozy den, drink tea, and catch up. Sarah's demeanor is warm. She's an earthy big sister type. You know, I was hoping to see all of you. Are my other bees just as busy? No, I just really need to talk to someone one-on-one, like we're together, like when it's suddenly, like we're suddenly kids again, and it just gets emotional. You girls had a gnarly childhood. I used to fight with your dad about how much was expected of you. You always stood up for us. It's why I replied to your text and not his. Drake really does care deeply about you guys. He just didn't want you to hide your light. He thought pushing you was a form of love. Well, it didn't feel like it, and we were punished for his dream. It was your dream, too. All 3 of you loved it. You just didn't have any agency or independence. That was his mistake. He's not a bad guy. He can be enraging and oblivious. Trust me, I dated the man for 9 years, but he has a good heart. When he talked to me about you guys in private, it wasn't about fighting or flying. It was about all the real stuff he loved about you. Really? It sounds like you kind of still love him. Okay. Bubbles and Drake sit at a kitchen table, still reviewing footage. They wear sheet masks and are both flustered. Okay, maybe everyone's internet works, but they're hallucinating. I mean, the whole premise of this is kind of flimsy, to be honest with you. It feels forced. It feels like the joke about this was that it was kind of forcing it, but they're legitimately running with this plot. And this, as a pilot, this would be like terminally boring. I mean, it would be funny for the memes, but at this point, like, most of the memes have already kind of been cut out. There's a couple more coming up that I know we haven't seen, but like, this plot is kind of weak. It's kind of lame. I mean, but like, as I said, that's the fucking CW. I mean, everything they do is kind of shitty. It's very tongue-in-cheek or just fucking shitty. I mean, there's not really much of an in-between. Off camera, or off the footage, spots Henrietta in the window. This is the same little girl we met in front of the house. Coincidence? Maybe we should look into her. She's like 10. So were you, back when many of you made the mistake of underestimating my girls. Drake's phone buzzes with a text from Blossom. Very surprised, Drake opens it and then smiles. Her sister texts me, said if we're still investigating, to look out for the barfly's yellow eyes. Look at that, progress. Maybe I can come back from this after all. You know, once I get my money today, we could use part of my cut to go deeper with our investigation. Drake looks guilty at the mention of the money. Oh, right. I have to rinse. Gotta look fresh for the trust fund meeting. Bubble skips out. Drake keeps looking at the Henrietta footage. Her face is stormy, mysterious, possibly evil. Henrietta is surrounded by empties of monster. Empty. I guess that's a thing. Empties of monster energy. Okay. Builds more woolly bears. Jojo bursts in impatient. Time's up, Henrietta. They're not ready. I don't care. Show me what you've got. The main event. Henrietta pulls out a box and opens the lid, revealing 3 special woolly bears. 1 blue, 1 pink, 1 green. They were specifically designed to target them and intercept their minds. Blue for yeah, I got it. Snatches the bugs, opens the window, and lets the woolly bears crawl out. Okay. An upbeat Bubbles gets ready. Makeup accessories are scattered all over the vanity. The blue woolly bear appears on her windowsill. Bubbles puts on a blue beanie that covers her ears and has holes for her pigtails to emerge. That's cute. Ski bunny mood. Woolly bear looks perplexed. As Blossom approaches the house, she notices the pink woolly bear crawling up her arm. She frowns, picks it off, and places it on a leaf. The woolly bear falls off the leaf and onto a puddle where it short circuits. Buttercup is about to take a sip of black coffee when she sees the green. I guess these things fucking teleport. Like, they legit teleported over to where they were. Remember, these are caterpillars, right? Like, unless they got, like, some ridiculous, like, rollout mode, they're gonna crawl, right? Like, they just appear, you know, like, I guess this is supposed to be, like, quick cuts just for the comedy of it. But, like, if these are just caterpillars, yeah, it says they crawl out. Like, what the fuck? How long did it take for them to get there? Like, seriously. Okay. She yelps, flicks it down the drain, then turns on the garbage disposal. So that plan literally was nothing. That was a waste of time. Good. Bubbles, Blossom, and Buttercup sit on the couch across from an attorney, Larry, as Drake stands anxiously in the corner. Larry's a typical cheap TV lawyer type. He organizes papers from a briefcase, Ace films, everyone sits in silence. Haven't I seen you on a bus bench? I suppose we're both famous. So we're looking at about 5 apiece, right? He watches the girls. Bubble pulls her beanie up from her ears. Hoping she heard correctly. You see the blue willy crawling along the couch headed for Bubble's ear canal. 5 million? No way, 500,000? I mean, that feels low, but 5,000. I'm sorry, what? Look, this isn't easy for me to say. I know how hard you girls work, how brave you were in those battles. I wanted to maximize your earnings, so I made some investments. What did you invest in, Dad? Well, it's some real estate. In 2008, and then fidget spinners. Yep, this is a great year to invest in real estate. Wow, now that's a fucking reference. See, now this isn't bad. You know why I say this isn't bad? Because if you watched this show as a kid, you probably remember how they fucked the economy in 2008, and pretty much no one saw it coming. It was great. I actually watched a movie about it recently because all the shit that's going on now with stocks and shit. They literally, this will be forever a good millennial reference. I'm willing to put that one down. You can put this in anything that millennials are expected to watch, and it would just work because like every one of us remembers exactly what happened in 2008. I remember what happened in 2008. Big ups to Wall Street, literally deleting our future just for shits and giggles, and then no one got punished for it. It was great. Money's gone. You knew about it. Why'd you make us come here? Because I miss you and I love you. So the evil lab thing was a lie. No, I truly believe disaster is imminent. You're mentally ill. This is why I don't call or visit. She picks up a vase. Drake instinctively ducks and cowers. I'm sorry, Buttercup. Buttercup hauls off with the vase as if to throw it when a chair crashes through the window, reveals Bubbles. Hulk level furious is the one who threw the chair. What about me? She angrily gesticulates and she unwittingly flicks off the woolly bear. Larry drops the briefcase and runs. Woolly bear heads for Bubbles, a bing crawling up her leg. I always believed in you and defended you, Dad, even when you sold our likeness to that cartoon, which, by the way, totally whitewashed us. Even then, I had your back. I always had a smile on my face. I never broke character, even though there was so much more to me. I always put our family first and this team first, no matter what. Yeah, good job shitting on the OG cartoon, by the way. And this is like weird shit that they do with writing nowadays. Like they'll legitimately take something, right, and they'll have a remake of it years later, and then they will shit on the original content in the new show that is based off the content that they're shitting on. It makes no fucking sense to me. It's like, you guys are making a Powerpuff Girls TV show, right? Like, you're airing it to a generation of people who are now grown up, who remember it from their childhood. And so the only thing that comes to the mind of writers in Hollywood is to they have to dismantle it. They have to fucking destroy it. And it makes no sense to me. It's like, why would you destroy the thing people love? You know, people love Powerpuff Girls. People love a lot of this shit. It's from their childhood. And they like go out of their way like to make fun of the people who like it and make fun of the people who they like just to make fun of the source material in general. And they did it with Star Wars, and that's one of like the biggest things that people didn't like. They didn't treat any of the characters with respect. They didn't even path out a fucking story, which in my opinion is like peak fucking, I don't even know if it's laziness or just fucking not caring. And it's probably both. And they just shit on it. And in my mind, I don't understand why like they do this at all. You know, like, it's like they can't write something that doesn't springboard off of the old shit. But at the same time of springboarding off the old shit, like, you know how it is. It's dumb. It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to something that had twice as much soul and 1,000,000 times more care and love put into it. But that's neither here nor there. Drake tries to stop Bubbles as she heads for the jagged hole where the window used to be. Drake puts his hand on her arm. I'm out of here. It's relapse time. The woolly bear crawls from Bubbles onto Drake and into his ear. Bubbles flies out the window, a blue streak in the sky. Buttercup blurs after Drake and flies after her. You stole my childhood. Because of you, I killed Mojo and it ruined my life. Do you even care? Drake is silent. We see a moment of a yellow glint in his eye, but Blossom doesn't see it. Cool, got it. I never want to see you again. She exits as we enter Act 3. Bubbles is in a holding cell. She opens her bloodshot eyes, places her to sleep. She sits up looking rough. Reveal Ace besides an officer outside the cell. He gives Bubbles a brief, compassionate wave. She vomits. Ace pats her back. I got a great shot of you freeing all those snakes from the zoo. They were legless lizards, Ace. Not that it matters. Blossom finishes her coffee, sets the cup by the sink. Stay in the kitchen to reveal a mangled green woolly bear. Crawl out of the sink. Blossom opens the front door where she hears a phone ring. She stops, looks inside at the red phone, but it wasn't unplugged. She walks over and stops ringing. Confused, Blossom goes upstairs, passing by the green woolly bear, now crawling up the banister. Blossom tiptoes to Buttercup's side of the bed. Macy's asleep. This fucking bitch is still here, man. Buttercup's Googling backpacking trips on her phone. Did you hear a phone ring? Yeah, it was the house line. How far do you think $5,000 can get me? Direct flights to Peru. I know it's stupid. I can't stop thinking about that creepy guy in the bar. Those yellow eyes. He probably has liver disease. Look, the spice sense you're feeling right now, it's part of it's the part of you that would like to believe there's still evil in the town, because it means maybe Dad's not a pathological liar, but you know, Occam's razor. Bubbles enters in sunglasses. Buttercup covers her nose as the green woolly bear crawls along Buttercup's wall towards her bed. Yeah, I stink. Thank you for your compassion. I'm going back to LA now. I'll FaceTime you at Christmas if I'm still alive. The woolly bear crawls into an ear canal. Oh no, did it finally get... I love this when they do this in scripts. Oh no, did it finally get Buttercup? Pull back to reveal it's Macy. She grabs the bedside table lamp and smashes it on Buttercup's head and turns towards Blossom. Oh my god, yellow eyes. Macy throws down the bookcase. Bubbles attacks her, but Macy manages to duck and throw Bubbles smack into a wall. Oh, alright. Bubbles tries to shake off the blow as Macy lifts up a bedside table, about to smash on Bubbles' head. When Buttercup kicks Macy's legs out from under her, she falls, hitting her head on a desk chair, causing it to fly out of her ear. She groans. Okay. The girls examine the woolly bear under a microscope when Blossom dissects it, revealing its wiring in a square metal chip. Whoa, it's a robot? Magic! I'd like to remind you that, like, they're super powered, and this random normal woman just, like, tosses shit around and smacks Bubbles into a wall. I don't know how that works. The furry hairs on the outside are actually nanofibers intended to latch onto something. I'm guessing a brain. How do you know all that? I have a PhD in biotech. Really, you guys don't know that? Biotech dud, nerd alert. I think someone engineered these things for mind control. The guy at the bar, Macy, that's why their eyes had a yellow weird glint. They were possessed. Dad was right. Evil is back in Townsville. So someone puts this thing in Macy and gets her to what, attack us? Because that's a bunk plan. I don't know, this thing looks pretty damaged, like maybe it misfired. Dad and I are working on a theory. Buttercup, do you remember the girl we ran outside the house? Our biggest fan? The one with the pet caterpillar. Yeah, that was shady, and we spotted her in my dock footage outside the Kano, I'm sorry, watching us. I can't believe this. I thought Drake made it all up, like my mom, or like that mom who poisoned her kid for Disney tickets. So crazy, like, think bigger. Townsville erupts in chaos. The riot started moments ago, the cause of which are unknown. News footage of citizens destroying Townsville. Match that footage too. Jojo looks in the mirror, deciding between two ties, red or blue. Henrietta opens the window, surrounded by her woolly bear creations. Just so I'm clear, we're gonna loose the woolly bears onto town, let them crawl into people's brains, and turn their aggro meter up to 10. Exactly. We need a new plan after your idiot worms incepted the wrong Utonium. Then after havoc ensues, I'll blame the entire thing on Drake. He'll confess via Wooly that he's drunk with power, blah blah. I arrest him and save the day, and Townsville re-elects me mayor. As a fun bonus, Drake rots in prison, and maybe I get to console Blossom. Oh, great. Dude, why is Blossom like... Fucking my god, dude. Why is Blossom like everyone's waifu in this show? I mean, I guess I kind of understand, but why, like, every fucking... Dude, can she just exist in this show and not be like someone's, like, fucking love interest, like, in general? With that, Jojo picks up the red tie. Henrietta sadly watches her woolly bears leave the office out the window en masse. Goodbye, Karen, Jared, Eric, Melania, Donald, Rudy Giuliani, Ted. What a very interesting set of names. I wonder where they got those from. The girls keep watching TV as the news switches to a press conference. The banner below, Townsville erupts in chaos, mind-controlling robots. Mayor Mundell speaks. Citizens under control, these malicious robots are being forced to act violently towards each other with no end in sight. I'm sad to say I believe my late father was right. This appears to be the work of Professor Drake Utonium. Burn Townsville, all must pay. If you're looking for it, you can see his yellow eyes. Someone's setting him up. He needs us now. Okay. Oh, wow. You got 5 acts? How much more do we have? Act 5? Act 6. Oh, God. I thought there were literally only 3 acts. Okay. We're almost done. Where was I? Was that Act 4? I think it was. Yeah, okay. Powerpuff Girls drive towards town in the white Powerpuff Mobile Sprinter van. Buttercup drives, Blossom is in front, Bubbles in back. They pull to the city center. I can't believe we didn't fly. I'm sorry, you know I can't get on a plane without a Xanax, but you can literally fly. Let's sidebar this. They get out of the car, we see anarchy in the streets. Cars on fire, fights breaking out. Oh, nice. They pulled up into Portland. Sounds good. They're all possessed. This is like the gathering of the Juggalos. You've been? I was paid to appear. We need to get to Dad. The girls keep taking it in. People are fighting, shouting, destroying property. Fire hydrants have been opened. There's water all over the streets. Nearby, Henrietta, unnoticed by the Powerpuff Girls, strolls through the insanity she's helped create. She spots the girls and picks up her phone, ducking into an alley. Okay, they're here. You might want to make that arrest. Okay. All 3 of them, even Blossom. Yep, we get to see them kick and scream as their dad gets hauled off to jail, just like you put on your vision board, which you should never show anyone, by the way. The golden Lambo is cringe. God, I mean, I guess it's a term that people use now. And fucking, whatever. But that's what I mean. Like, Hollywood writing isn't much fucking better, dude. Like, seriously. Jojo smiles, taking all this in when his pet monkey screeches. Jojo frowns, his mood darkening. No, it's not enough. I can't squander this opportunity. What do you want me to do, Jojo? I want them to know how it feels to watch their father die. New plan. Powerpuff Girls head for Drake. On their way there, they cannot help but notice the mayhem. Bubble stops. Guys, what about all those people? They need us. Blossom looks around conflicted. Buttercup keeps moving and then turns when she sees Blossom and Bubbles haven't moved. Come on, saving Dad's life I get, but playing superhero again? Buttercup gestures to the fighting and ruin around them. These are the same normos that kicked us out of here a decade. Why would we help them? This is a very actually good point. Blossom sighs, conflicted. Bubbles sees her wavering. Blossom, you're always the one. You were the one who always said we should help people no matter what. Remember, you were the biggest, bravest heart of all 3 of us. That's why you were the leader. I was the leader because Dad said so. That's not true. I was designed to be in charge. But your annoying type A ass claimed that role, and you owned it. Guys, I know everyone here has rejected us for semi-misogynistic reasons, but Townsville is our home, and it's getting destroyed, and we have to save it. And Dad. This is our chance to show them they were wrong about us. I hate this town. I'm 50-50 on Drake. I got a hard-on for mayhem that won't go down. I'm in. No, I've done too much work in therapy to go there. I'm a grown woman now. I have a degree. I have degrees and a boyfriend and furniture from West Elm. I'm not a Powerpuff Girl. Blossom starts to have a panic attack and runs off. Bubbles is about to take off after Blossom. We have to move on. But Bloss, we'll do it for her, okay? It's what she wants even if she can't say it. She was always our conscience. And I was just the attention whore. Oh, thanks. You were amazing. They take off in the other direction. Possessed Drake is still standing on a rooftop. Bubbles and Buttercup observe from a safe distance. So when Maisie hit her head, it drove the woolly bear out of her. We need to do something like that on a mass scale, but without, like, killing people. Her eyes land on a spot with the advertisement for laser hair removal. Her eyes light up. Electrolysis. I didn't want to get the au naturel thing, but now's not the time. Bubbles flies to a telephone pole, rips a wire out of the pole, exposing its frayed end. Oh, sick. We're going to fry them. No, we're going to lightly shock them enough to drive the bugs out, but not enough to kill them. Look, they're all standing in water. Let me grab them. I'm pretty sure this would kill them. Just outright. Blossom sits beside a dumpster doing breathing exercises. She closes her eyes and opens them, revealing young Blossom. Why are you hiding? I can't do this. I just want a normal life. I can't. I can't be the hero they want me to be. So be the hero you want to be. Do it on your terms. You don't have to wear a dress. You don't have to take daddy's notes about being less bossy. And you don't have to spend the rest of your life blaming yourself for mojo. You just have to be true to yourself. Be the person you would have been if no one was telling you what to do. Blossom considers this. Then young Blossom disappears when suddenly the ground trembles. They hold the telephone pole above the crowd. Just touch it to the water and the shock will spread. They lower the pole gingerly. A jolt of electricity surges through the teeming mass standing in the flooded streets. People are knocked out. I'm just imagining this in CW quality, by the way. Now, you really have to know what they're capable of to really get a vision of what this would actually look like. Woolly bears are crawling and jumping out people's ears. Bubbles and Buttercup are stoked, but then... Hello, Powerpuff Girls. Reveal Henrietta on the roof of the building with Drake. The sisters are in midair holding the pole alight. I have complete and total power over him. Right, Professor Quacktonium? Drake nods humbly. I knew you were a fake fan. Nobody's favorite is Blossom. Look, look, I don't know what you want over Dad, but please, let's talk this out. Girl to girl. You're not a girl, you're a born grown-up who used to be cool. Hang it up and start a book club. Bubbles, let's go with the pole, ready to save Drake, but with the electric current, it's too much for Buttercup alone. Bubbles sees Buttercup needs her and helps with the pole before it crashes to the ground, but the sisters are stuck. We can't drop the pole, it'll kill them all. Let's go for a walk. Drake obediently walks off the edge of the building and falls off. Bubbles and Buttercup are helpless, holding the pole, screaming, and Blossom cuts through the air and scoops him up. That's my bitch right there. Jojo watches from his window, furious. Blossom soaks up her hero moment. Sorry, I'm late, Dad, but I had to make peace with an old... Drake slaps and scratches Blossom, still possessed. Stop, you're so annoying. Blossom lands on his shoe with Drake, his fist flying. Blossom punches him in the face. His woolly bear... Like, this thing is supposed to be, like, deep enough in his ear canal that it's, like, touching his brain. And they just, like, slap them. Somehow they don't snap his fucking neck. And it's enough to dislodge it out of the fucking... out of his ear. Like, to have it literally fly out of his brain. Like, if you ever read Animorphs, like, Animorphs is kind of the same deal. Like, this is, like, I loved Animorphs as a kid, by the way. And like, it took a lot to get one of the yerks out of someone's head. Like, if it's in your ear canal, I think at one point they had to pull it out of someone's ear canal before it actually got inside of their brain, because there's literally no way to take it out of someone's brain without either starving it to death, which happened in like a couple of the books. They had to like hold a dude hostage while the yerk inside of him fucking died a slow death. You either starve it to death or you kill them. Like, there's no other way out of it. Because once they're attached to the brain, I mean, what are you going to do? Fucking brain surgery this shit? Is the CW. I don't expect them to think this fucking much. It's I guess, supposed to intentionally be cartoony. Which is weird, because this is supposed to be like a more modern, realistic take. Like, they're taking the kid glasses off. And you got dudes getting punched hard enough it dislodges something from their brain, but not hard enough to snap their fucking neck. You know, we're talking about fucking superpowered women too, by the way. That was surprisingly cathartic. Bubbles is stomping all the woolly bears on the street when Blossom lands beside her. Bubbles gives her a huge hug. Blossom saved the day. Haven't heard that one in a while. My babies. My poor babies. Find Henrietta crouched in a poem warning her woolly bears. Oops. Henrietta smiles menacingly, standing up. Woolly bears mount up. Busted woolly bears start to rise and crawl towards Henrietta. She cackles maniacally. When suddenly Henrietta is electrocuted and flies into a building hard. Reveals Buttercup with a live wire behind her. The woolly bears slump, ineffectual without Henrietta's leadership. But way too much. Buttercup is worried until Henrietta starts coughing. The girls sigh relief. Buttercup's eyes light up. Not dead. Buttercup and Bubbles high-five. They hear cheering. They turn to discover a massive crowd cheering for them. The sisters soak it up, feeling like real heroes again. In a reversal of fate, the Powerpuff Girls are beloved again in Townsville. A super bloom surrounds the Utonium home. Townsville residents swing by, leaving gifts. A huge sign is hung across the front lawn. Thank you, Powerpuff Girls. The town is pleading for the girls to remain permanently, but the sisters have yet to comment. The pan from the TV to Blossom standing by the window. She admires the signs outside. She listens and watches Bitmoji. Look, I get it. It's a cool opportunity. I just love our life together. I don't want to ask you to turn down, but I'm hoping you do. Sorry, doing this on Bitmoji was a stupid idea. Love you. And then she notices something outside. Jojo turns, smiles shyly at Blossom. Hey, I was just leaving you guys a little token of appreciation. Buttercup looks out the window watching them. Blossom picks up Jojo's gift. It's an action figure of her, the one we saw Jojo holding in the teaser. Wow, where'd you get this? I actually bought it behind my dad's back when I was a kid. I had to hide it under the bed. Like porn. Not because I did anything creepy with it. Just because he hated you. My God, this is brutal. No, yeah, I got that. I remember still. I'm so sorry, Jojo. It was an accident. Speaking of, I'm sorry about falsely accusing your dad of mass terrorism. Yeah, real egg on your face, huh? A little bit, yeah. Then I guess we're even. I mean, we're not even, nowhere close. Just mean, don't worry. Is she flirting? Girl. She's taken. I don't know, we have to talk it out. Well, I hope you do. Jojo, why don't you hate me? It's not for lack of trying. Good night. He watches Jojo go, oddly drawn to him. Classic hate boner. They talk over each other at dinner, telling Drake a story. Their energy is magnetic and warm, like old times. So Dad comes behind her and zap her. She flies like 20 feet and splats into a wall. All of them crack up. Drake slaps his knee. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Good thing they caught her. You know she murdered her parents? Really? Good goss. Have you girls heard or thought about whether you want to stay in Townsville? The girls look at each other quiet. Blossom's about to speak when Drake cuts her off. Before you answer, I just want to say, I know you are individuals with full lives and aspirations, so if picking up your old mantle doesn't feel like your life anymore, I want you to honor that. You sure we got that bug out? Sarah called me, which I know wasn't easy for her, but I mentioned sometimes don't express to you the girls I see as full people. You're my daughter's first, and your happiness is all that matters. You and Sarah still talk, you know she still has a crush on you. We'll discuss Sarah later. For now, you girls need to make a decision. If you need me, I'll be in my lab. Are we really doing this? I'd be giving up my whole life. A job, a great guy that loves me. I'd be giving up Hollywood. It was my dream. I'd probably look pathetic to you guys, but you didn't. I'm giving up backyard chickens and a lot of other stuff, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss it. What about you guys? They shared nervous glances. Blossom, the most conflicted, grew up in a small town, and when the rain would fall down, I'd just stare out my window, dreaming of what could be, and if I'd end up happy, I would pray if I could break away. Is she in or not? And she's in. Cool. I'll spread my wings. I'll learn how to fly. I'll do what it takes till I touch the sky. What a slut. Buttercup and Bubbles are thrilled. They join in each other's faces. Visceral. A complete return to childhood. Drake hears the girl sing upstairs and smiles. He peers into a microscope, examining a defunct woolly bear robot. He's doing more than examining it. He's repairing it. The bot wriggles back to life and Drake smiles. He walks to a cabinet, revealing a hidden door. He opens it and walks inside. Lights flicker on as Drake places the bot in a glass cage surrounded by other mysterious specimens. As he exits, he looks to a picture on his wall of himself, Bubbles, Buttercup, and Blossom as young girls. He looks at them guilt-ridden. Close on the 2000s action figure of Blossom as the girls continue to scream, sing, and dance in the background. Matched to a camera feed that Jojo watches. The action figure is a secret camera inside. A scowl on his face as Pet Monkey watches the feed beside him, eating a banana. I'll find another way to win re-election. We took them out once, we could do it again. Right, Dad? The monkey screeches with fervor as we cut to black. Yeah, so his dad is inside of the fucking robot. What a mess. Now, I guess I'll say the good things that I liked about this. I finished actually an hour early because there really wasn't that much to read, really. Probably one of the good things I like about it, if I could go up really quickly, is they have a whole part where, here it is, I actually scrolled right to it, where Blossom has to kind of contently talk to her inner self and her younger self. That usually is like a cool thing, you know? That probably is like the only actually formed character in this show is Blossom, believe it or not. The rest of them basically got turned into memes, and I don't understand why, and it's actually kind of tragic. I genuinely do not understand why that's the case, but holy fuck, could the CW, I really am sad, right, that people on the internet genuinely read this, heard about this, And immediately, first of all, even before that, the test audiences apparently hated it. They knew it was a miss. They knew what they were making. They're aware that what they're making is not good. They are 1000% aware that what they're doing is like actually trash. They know. They fucking know. And I think that's the most damning part, is they know what they're making is not even good. They're aware of it. Anyone with 2 eyes and a fucking brain can look at the shit that they're pumping out at the CW and say, God damn, this is actually fucking bad. This is actually fucking terrible. Anyone can look at this and see that that's the case. Anyone. But you know what? I still want them to do it. That's the thing. I'm done with the era of me saying, wow, this is trash, they shouldn't have made it. I'm now with the era of, wow, this is fucking awful, they should make it. Right? Like, after the Death Note live action, I just want them to. You know why? Because it's fucking hilarious. Imagine all the good shit we could get instead of this. Imagine all of it. And we just never do. We just don't. We don't. And that's what fucking gets me every time. It's awesome. And I had to do this because this is actually a show I watched as a kid. I mean, forgetting all the modern day 2021 fucking bullshit, right? That's just how fucking people in Hollywood write, right? Like they name drop fucking real world politicians. They fucking talk about a whole bunch of shit. Everything changed after 2016. Like everything. Like literally the entire timeline shifted. I really fundamentally believe we shifted a fucking timeline. But legitimately though, like beyond the fucking actual like real world bullshit that they just ham in just because I guess it's what they think people want. Is this what people actually wanted? You know? If nothing else, right? Like if your target audience is millennials, right? You should want to appeal to their childhood as much as possible, not deconstruct it in like a weird modern way. Like that's the thing. Like you could have a deconstruction, but it needs to be really careful because most things you see now are deconstruction. They're like let's take things seriously. They're either massive like over the top deconstructions, which is like this, or they just literally have no bearing, no plot, no consequence, no nothing. And that's a lot of movies. And it's like there's no middle ground in Hollywood. It's either we're gonna completely ignore plot consistency and logic, or and just have no consequence and just everything is crazy or whatever, or we're just gonna massively deconstruct the shit out of stuff. But I mean, on some level, I just want them to fucking do it. I just want them to make this shit. I'm serious. Because why wouldn't you? I'm actually of the opinion that a game and a movie and a TV show that has this much comedy built into it is just fucking god tier, right? Like, it's just good. You just want to watch it. You just want to actually enjoy it. And I feel like it's schadenfreude viewing is what it is, right? Like, it's not I'm watching this show because I think it's good. It's I'm watching this show because I know it will be bad, and I just want to see them actually put it in. You know, put it onto fucking screens. And I mean, yeah, the show might take a fucking L and it might be a loss of revenue. That's not my fucking problem. I don't give a shit. If a company's gonna bleed money and fucking waste time and waste effort, sure, do it. I don't give a shit. I've completely flip-flopped on this issue. I admit, over the last 7 years, I have completely changed how I look at this stuff. I don't think, wow, they shouldn't be allowed to make stuff like this, or wow, they're fucking dumb, why the fuck would they do this? It's like, wow, do this, please. Please waste your time and money, please. Because if you're not gonna make anything good, you might as well make something comically bad. I think that's pretty much my logic with a lot of things in life. If you're not gonna make something good, you might as well just fucking make something ridiculously amazing. And like, remember, you're targeting an audience of people who probably remember, especially, you know, people who even remember what it is, probably like love this shit, right? Like they love this shit. And somewhere in here, there is a good idea, right? Like this isn't like complete shit, like Game of Thrones season 8. This is like somewhere in here, there's like maybe 10% of this is like a good idea somewhere. Most of it is like Blossom. Maybe a little bit of it is like, you know, them getting older and having to deal with other stuff, right? Because when you're a kid, you know, you're playing in a circle, right? Your whole life is a circle, And at most, your circle includes things that mostly your parents present to you, things you like, you know, whatever. When you become an adult, it's like they take off all the training wheels. It is before you become an adult, in my experience. You know, they take off all the training wheels. Your circle becomes a fucking globe. And now you got to figure out a thousand other things. My God. I believe this is real. I fundamentally believe this is 100% real. I think that they were not lying when they said that this, or when people were like, "Oh, this is not real." I think it's 100% real. I think that there's too much effort put into this. One, for this to be fake, right? That's not necessarily proof. I have no proof. I can't go down to CW headquarters and make them fess up. The only thing I have going for it is that they copyright struck it, right? You generally do not copyright stuff or copyright strike stuff that you do not own the rights to yourself. You just generally don't, because I mean, why would you? Why would you copyright strike someone's idea that's not theirs? Like, fan fiction exists. Like, you're allowed to write fan fiction. You know, like you can do that. So if it's not real, then it's fan fiction, and no one strikes fan fiction. I mean, that just would leave a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. But did this do any better? Like, really? Like, really? Like, at this point, I look forward to these things getting leaked. Like, I look forward to the new Bond movie being a fucking disaster, because that's just how they make movies in 2021, and I'm already tired of it. I'm already tired of it. I do not want to go see it. I'll see the Sonic movie. That's probably the next movie I'm gonna go see. Is I want to see the Sonic movie. But yeah, I mean, that's really kind of it. I'll see like Sonic and Joker too. And it's funny because those were the last two movies I saw in theaters, was Sonic and Joker. It's actually hilarious that's what we've come to. It's fucking crazy. I personally I can't. I really just can't. It's just whatever. I'm really sad that the internet had the reaction it did. It's like with that one the Gamer Girl like Twitch game that they had, where it was like, it was made by the people who made, I think, the phone games or whatever, that horror phone game, where you like look through people's phones to try to find information about them. Like, I was really hoping that they would make that game anyway, but they canceled it. I was gonna say, like, dude, just for the meme value alone, they should make this game. And they didn't. And it's unfortunate, because I feel like there's something really good in there somewhere that will just never get made now, and it's unfortunate. But what can you do, right? So, in any event, I'm going to keep this short because I'm going to go eat. I got nothing much else to really say, I don't think. Modern TV and film sucks. I don't think that that's a very controversial statement at all, to say the least. I'll be back streaming and doing normal stuff this week, don't you worry. I wanted to take a bit of a break, because I could not let this one slip idly by. Because in general, I like stuff like this, but I just never talk about it on the channel. And I feel like I should, because it's actually fucking golden. Like, who even does this? Like who, like, really? You have to think about it, right? Like, in your daily life, right? Who the fuck actually does this? Actually. Like, someone wrote this. Actually, who wrote this? It's probably real names attached to this project. Yeah, and by the way, they also fakely attributed it to, I think, real people who are on this project. You know, and like, it just looks correct, right? I don't know, man. I think deconstructing silly 90s cartoons is a mistake. I just think that that's generally not going to end well. You know, like, a lot of people draw a lot of Ed and Eddie artwork and a lot of weird stuff. I feel like if they could remake that, they would. And the reason I say that is because that was Cartoon Network's it was literally their most famous show, right? Like, that was literally the show that put them, I don't want to say put them on the map, but it was like late 90s gold. It was their most popular show. It's one of their longest running shows. And the guy, Danny Antonucci, ended it on his own terms. And that is like the most powerful thing that you could do, is like, they didn't force him to keep going. He made the show on a dare. I think he used to draw like adult cartoons or some shit. He made the show on a dare. It turned out to be a smash hit, and he ran it for as long as he wanted to. And then when he was done with it, he was done with it, and he went on with his life. And I don't blame him, you know, even though I wish there was more. You know, if the magic was done, I'm glad that it got the fulfilling end that it needed. You know, it got a couple hundred, I think it got like over 100 episodes. And it was good enough for me. You know, it turned into a big media franchise, you know, maybe not like the biggest, right? But it turned into a big franchise. They got some games made about it. They got, you know, cartoons. They got a movie. They got specials. You know, when what was it? When Cartoon Network got taken over by aliens or something. You know, like it's no small shit. Like they actually did pull off a lot of good stuff, and I got to give them credit. But all good things come to an end, and it was fun tracking this script down. I'll be honest with you. What a fucking disaster. And they actually just commit this shit to pen and paper. You know, it's like the people that write this shit, like they didn't watch the show. They didn't get the appeal of the show. They don't understand why people like it. I feel like they do. Like every fucking series is like this now. They get a bunch of people to write for it that have no fucking idea why people like it, what people like about it, and just how to contribute to the universe in a good, meaningful way, right? Like, this is canon. Like if you want to take this show seriously, which you have to, kind of, on some level, because it exists, right? Like, it's published. It's not like a YouTube fan production, which is what this really sounds like. Like, if this was a YouTube fan production, I wouldn't really give a shit. I'd say, wow, you know what? Cool for them. They got together a bunch of people. It looks pretty professional. And then I'm expecting it to get, I'm expecting it to get taken down by YouTube. That would be exactly my line of thought, and I wouldn't think of it. I would be like, wow, congrats to the amateurs, you know, for putting the work out. When you work for a major corporation, you aren't an amateur anymore. I don't know, a lot of people seem to be under the idea that, like, TV studios are not fallible. Like, they pump out stuff and, like, it's not their fault when it's bad, which is, like, the literal point. It's like, yeah, they made something that's bad. Like, I don't know, man. That's why I'm kind of like, people are like, oh, like, it's the same thing with Star Wars. They're like, oh, don't worry if Episode 7 doesn't make sense. It'll all make sense when the trilogy's over. So Episode 8 comes out. Oh, don't worry, it'll all make sense when Episode 9 comes out. Man, come on. And Episode 9 comes out and actually makes things make less sense. So, I just feel like a lot of people give corporations too much fucking credit. I think that they write shit. They write shittily. I don't think that that's a controversial statement to make. I think that that's just, unfortunately, how it is. There's a lot of shit in anything. And even in video games, there's a lot of shit. Let's be fair. I don't know. People are fucking weirdos. I mean, in like, I don't know why they simp for companies, right? Like, at best, I could see you getting excited at companies trying something new. But at worst, like, I don't know. I just feel like, what the fuck? They're clearly just trying to make nostalgia bucks, you know? Like, clearly just trying to milk some extra cash because you still deep down like this, or you remember that you liked it, so you'll want to watch it or whatever, or buy merch, or I don't even know, man. I just don't know. It's a fucking waste of time. An absolute waste of time. But I still want them to fucking put it on the screen, because, like, why not? That line about the fucking hate boner would go right on my soundboard. And at this point, I can't not. I'm really sad that it's not. That's actually, like, heartbreaking. Well, I've talked long enough. I'm going to rest my voice and then chill for like 40 minutes. So, big ups to you. Thank you for stopping by. I'm going to do gameplay streams again very soon. God, man. And Batwoman is worse than this. I think this is better than Batwoman, admittedly. Because Batwoman is, like, based off of actual serious IPs. This is at least based off of, like, a cheesy cartoon show. I mean, at least that could work, right? Like, on some level. Like, you could have a cheesy cartoon show be a cheesy live-action adaptation. That's why Death Note didn't work, because they fuck it. Just, never mind. I don't want to talk about Death Note, actually. That's a topic for a literal other time. I'm fucking leaving. Yeah, remember when we used to have Looney Tunes? And now Looney Tunes is like this awful, horrible thing that must be deleted.